mein Vater und
Hi everyone, welcome back to Movie Monday. That's a good name for this, actually. I just thought of that right off the tip of my head. Wow, we're already having episode 3 off to a great start. And today in this episode, we're talking about the latest issue. And what movie in the latest issue is, there's an article right here. I flipped to it. We're gonna be talking about The Gate. Now this article is by Heather Wixson. Am I pronouncing that right? I think I am. If I'm not, please tell me on Facebook or Instagram and whenever I post this. First, let's start talking about this article. The article was a greatly written article, and basically what it was about is, first off, it was explaining some points in the movie about, it was like telling the plot of the movie, which the plot of the movie is, if you don't already know and haven't seen this movie, two tween boys accidentally open a gate to HE double hockey sticks in their backyard, and then the main one of the kids' older sister gets left home alone with them for 3 days because their parents are out of town, and then that's basically when HE double hockey sticks on Earth happens. Basically, I really liked this article. It was a really good article. It was talking about how they wanted this film to be for kids 10 to 13. Now, generally, I did rate the scariness based off of how the kids 10 to 13 who haven't seen like as many horror movies as I have would rate it on the scariness factor, because well, I mean, it wasn't really that scary for me because I've seen a ton of horror movies, and so I've seen a lot of scarier horror movies. And this horror movie was really good. And let's get on to this. Oh, also, speaking of the little monster guy, he's gonna be like, wait, why do I keep thinking today is Tuesday? He's gonna be like he's gonna be a week old tomorrow. So the monster thing I grew in the last episode. If you haven't seen that last episode, you should go check it out. Also, my Dog Soldiers review. I feel like I'm talking too fast. I don't know. Anyway, so he's actually starting to get really big. I mean, he was really big on day 4, and I haven't checked him in 3 days. So I'm assuming he's gonna be pretty big. He last time I checked, he looked like a really big puppet. Well, not a really big, looked like a small puppet. So he's still getting bigger. That's pretty nice. Anyway, on to the review. Okay, so this is called The Gate. It's an hour and 25 minutes long. It's from 1987, and it's rated PG-13. It's funny, because it's PG-13, but it's meant for kids 10 to 13. And so the director is Tibor Takacs. I think I'm saying that. Whenever the movie starts, this kid has this dream where he's in his tree house and it gets struck by lightning and it catches on fire while he's in it. Then whenever he wakes up, there's a tree with a tree house knocked over. That very exact tree actually got struck by lightning as he was dreaming it. What are the chances? Later on, like, I don't know, later on in the movie, he cuts his hand by a piece of glass, pretty sure. From this tree, there's this hole in his backyard. Wait, no, it's a piece of wood. It's a piece of wood. I knew it looked like a needle. And also, let me just say, this blood looked like pink food coloring. Like, I'm not kidding. And it was so funny because you know that gel food coloring that's supposed to be the red color, but it's just pink? Do you get what kind of food color I'm talking about? It's gel, it's clear. That's exactly what it looked like. It was so funny. It looked like the watered down version of that. So basically, then they go outside, the kid and his dad go outside, and the hole keeps on getting bigger. How is the hole getting bigger? It looks like it's just like going into itself. It's getting wider, but also it's getting deeper, even though, you know, the dirt is going in. Like whenever you dig holes, the dirt piles up and piles up and piles up. Basically, why does it keep getting bigger? it doesn't, I guess that's so they can accidentally open the gateway to HE double hockey sticks. And so anyway, then basically later the parents are gone, and they tell Alexandra, or Al, that's the older sister, don't throw any parties. Cut back to, she's throwing a party. And so basically, this one girl starts talking about levitating, and he's like, no, that's just a party trick. And she's like, no, levitating's real, you just need to concentrate. And then they're like, hey kid, you wanna come levitate? And he's like, huh? I guess so. And so anyway, like a minute or two later, he starts levitating. Yeah, that's pretty funny. And so then he bumps a light and he knocks it over and it's crash, glass everywhere, ah! And then he breaks another light because he's falling down and he's trying not to hurt himself on the floor. And then he starts crying, what of course is normal, but they're freaking about him crying, but not about him levitating. What in the world is that? You're supposed to freak out about him levitating, not about him crying. It's nighttime. This kid named Terry, that's the other kid. And then let me tell you that Glenn is the kid that lives with Al, and Terry's his friend. Just wanted to get that clear. So, also to explain, Terry's mom has died before, and it's really sad because he only lives with his dad. Ooh, and speaking back to the article, it was talking about how about they were thinking of this novel where it's about kids, but they're post-apocalyptic world and all the parents are dead. Basically, it's saying in this, there's no parents in this entire thing. I mean, even the parents' name, they don't even get names. Their names are mom and dad. And Terry's dad only appears in a note on the refrigerator. So that's pretty funny because it's like, no parents, wah, ha, 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 the demons are gonna take over the world. But like, not actually. So Terry's dead mom starts calling for Terry, Terry in the living room. And Terry's like, well, what? I thought my mom died. Well, not like that. And so he's like hugging her, and then the mom turns into the dog. And then the dog dies of old age. I mean, I don't think I would say that sentence ever. The mom turns into the dog and the dog dies of old age. That sentence does not make sense, but it does make sense if you've seen the movie because that's what happened. Cut back to the daylight, and it's at Terry's house. So whenever you see the room, you can notice that there's metal posters all over the wall. It's like, it's all Iron Maiden. So basically, so you know how bed sheets are usually covered and you can't really see what they look like? That Terry is hurting inside, and that you can tell that because his mom died. His room is all evil looking because metal posters, and there's like he's listening to metal music and stuff, but his sheets are rainbows. So he's hard and heavy metal on outside, but inside he's rainbows and he just wants to be happy. And I realize, and that does make a lot of sense, because yes, in movies sheets are usually covered, you can't really see what the sheets are, so it's signifying that it's covering up what he feels inside. And that's really sad and deep if you think about it. Before the dad left, before the parents left, the dad told the kid to redig the hole, to fill up the hole because, well, it's a giant hole in your backyard. And the hole redigs itself whenever Terry gets back to the house. That's pretty crazy, how a hole ends up redigging itself. They realize that that they're accidentally, they find tons of geodes in this hole. And so whenever they crack open one of the geodes, it's like, roar, and then there's this chant on an Etch-a-Sketch. And then Terry finds out whenever he's in his house that if the same chant is on one of his metal albums, And so basically, then he's like, oh, and then he finds out how to undo the curse. So he starts trying to undo the curse, and basically it works, kind of. But they end up redoing it accidentally again. How do they keep accidentally opening gates for demons? So basically it's cut to night, and Al, which is Alexandra, the older sister, is having a sleepover with her 2 girlfriends. And so basically, it's all starting to go well. They try to enclose, and basically, then they go outside, and they see the parent, or they see, no, that's later. They see, wait, no, that is right now. They see the parents, and they're like, oh my goodness, thank goodness, there's demons that are about to attack us. And then his face melts off. And it was so creepy. Oh my gosh, that part freaked me out. And then little claymation monsters are like, ah, ah. And I know they're made out of clay because I do claymation things. And so I could definitely tell these were made out of clay. Who closed that door? No one's upstairs right now. It was probably just the wind. Anyway, so these claymation monsters look really cool. And basically, what happens is they fight off the claymation monsters. Ah, rah! Go away, monsters! And then they try and close the hole again. But while Terry is chanting the thing for the monsters to go away, he falls in the hole. Now I'm like, whoops, he's dead now. He's not dead. The more claymation monsters fall in the pit, and they start rah, nom nom, ah, nom nom, tasty human. And then he's like, ah, ah, and then he's trying to climb up, and he kicks them, and he's attacking, ah, and then they're like, nom nom, and then he's like trying to climb up, and then they get a rope with a piece of wood down, and he grabs onto this, and he's like, okay. Then later on, a dead person falls out of the wall, only he's not dead, but he's dead, so he's like a zombie. And basically, and then he kidnaps Terry and brings him back into the wall. And then Al sees that monster guy in the mirror, and then it attacks her, and it turns into a bunch of little claymation monsters. Rah, rah. And then they hide into a closet, and then what looks like a zombified version of Terry starts gnawing on Glenn's hand, and it's just like, wait, so are you a zombie now? Wait, is this a zombie movie? I thought I was watching a demon movie, not a zombie movie. But of course I was just kidding, because it's not a zombie movie. It's just like there's like a zombie. So they're like, roar, and then Al stabs him. And then the monsters are like, roar! And then they hear breathing, like heavy breathing. Is like, and then and then Al just like disappears. And then I say a lot of and thens. Like I've said like 5 million and thens in this one sentence. That's a lot more and thens I said. Roar! A giant claymation monster! And then he's like attacking Al, and then Al's like, ah! And he's like, get down, get down! And so the claymation monster falls back into the hole. And let me tell you, this was smooth claymation quality. And so then he's like, ah! I have a hand on my eye! And then a hand on my eye. I mean, an eye on my hand. And then he stabs it with a piece of glass, and it's like, ah! Now I'm really bloody. The eye disappeared, and now I just stabbed my hand. Ah! And so then he's stupid and takes the piece of glass out. If you're impaled, don't take whatever is in you out of you. That's just common sense, I think. I don't know, maybe it isn't. But if you're impaled, blood won't come out of you if it's still in you. So just keep that part in you until you can get medical help. Otherwise, you're just gonna bleed to death. Would you rather stay alive or die? And then another claymation giant appears. Roar! and he's like, ah, raw, ah, raw. His home is absolutely destroyed, even though like for some reason the gate just closes, like from him exploding the rocket. His home is destroyed, and then Angus comes back. That's the dog, by the way. As if I thought I wrote the scariness factor as if I was one of those. I put my eyes in the eyes of kids, or I put my feet in those shoes, however you say that, in the eyes of the kids who were watching this. And I ended up, here's my rating. I wrote gore 7 out of 10. The gore was pretty good, but it was pretty cheesy because, as I told you, it looked like that pink that's supposed to be red food coloring. That's gel. That's just a watered down version. It looked like that. And so that's 7 out of 10. It was pretty good for a B movie. Well, it was pretty good. The gore was just cheesy, and this movie wasn't cheesy. Well, I don't think it was supposed to be cheesy. It didn't say in the article it was supposed to be cheesy. Anyway, so I wrote the scariest 9 out of 10. It would be pretty scary for someone like that. The claymation, 9 out of 10, it was pretty smooth. It was a little tiny bit choppy, but I mean, it's really hard doing claymation. I know that. The items coming into play later, 10 out of 10. I like how I said that because it was just pretty cool how there was this one item that came into play at the very, very end. And then my rating, I would rate it PG-13 and 8.6 out of 10. That's like the highest rating I've ever rated. So anyway, so I thank you all for watching this video. I'm excited to see you on Friday, flashback Friday. Anyway, I'm excited to see you then. I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye, everybody. I don't think it's a coincidence. It probably isn't, because these kind of movies, there's no such thing as coincidences in these movies. You know, it's like maybe there might be like a few coincidences, but then it catches you by surprise because there's not a coincidence. I don't know, because like in these movies, coincidences are non-existent. Guess that's basically what any teenager would do in that time whenever their parents are home alone. Are home alone? No, whenever one of their parents are gone. Like, wait, it's just a party trick. And no, he actually levitated. He knocked stuff down. How is that an illusion, a party trick? Like, it just doesn't make sense what these kids think, these teenagers think. I shouldn't say kids because I'm younger than them, so that wouldn't make sense for me to say kids. They're teenagers.